If you want to get paid to podcast, you literally need to think about it like a job. Part-time or full-time, you are going to need to make a product, which is a show that people are paying with their attention to watch or listen to, that is super popular and will get shared a lot. Welcome to our show host series. I'm Christine Baird, owner of Worthville Media. I'm in our studios, and I am going to title this video, So You Want to Make Money from Your Podcast? And we've done other videos in this show host series about monetizing, but I'm specifically talking to you today if you are a personal brand who hosts a show or wants to host a show, YouTube, podcast, doesn't matter, and you really want to make money from it. Like you want to get paid to podcast. Maybe that's what I'll title the video. So you want to get paid to podcast. Because this is obviously one of the most desirable outcomes when I talk to clients, potential clients, people, friends who are interested in getting into podcasting and YouTube. They consistently ask me, well, can I make money from it? Like, I would love for this to pay me. And if this is you, I want you to listen up because it's not so far out of reach that like you can never do it. That's not it. You can totally get paid to podcast. The path to doing that will likely not be what you're thinking, and I'll break it down for you. If you're a personal brand, you are someone who makes money by sharing yourself. You are your product, right? Your wisdom, your insights, your personality, the way you communicate, the way you teach or offer. You could be anything, a comedian or a business coach or anything in between. And if you're a personal brand, people are paying you or paying attention to you, right? They might pay you with your attention, pay you with their attention, or they might pay you with their dollars. But you are the product. So if you want to be paid to podcast, like that's totally doable. There's tons of examples. I've worked with many clients who get paid to podcast. The strategy to get paid to podcast is very different from making a podcast that you love. So here's where we're going to get real. If you want to get paid to podcast, your primary goal, the focus should be, how do I make a show that will get people to listen a lot and tell all their friends and spread far and wide to the audience I'm best fit for? Like, how do I get to make a show that will very naturally and very quickly get spread to many, many people who are interested in my topic? And that might not be the show you want to host. So here's where we get real. If you want to get paid to podcast, you literally need to think about it like a job. Part-time or full-time, you are going to need to make a product, which is a show that people are paying with their attention to watch or listen to, that is super popular and will get shared a lot. And if you do that, you will grow a show that will pay you, like sponsorships, YouTube ads, however you want. You can totally host a show that will pay you. And people who do it successfully are very savvy and very clear about the show they're hosting and that it's a show that pays them money. It's not like their dream show that like, this is just the show I wanted to make because I thought it would be so fun and so interesting to me. Those two don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can host a show that you love that pays you money, but it's probably going to take you a solid 5 to 10 years to build the base of people to listen. Because you're probably going to go off on creative tangents and you're going to take breaks and you're going to focus your energies in different places and you're going to make some stuff that's not a total right fit for your audience or what's trending. You're going to make stuff that's interesting to you. So if you already are very well established with a very large audience, like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, you've already done a lot of the prep work here and you know your audience really well and what they're into. So there might be an alignment pretty early on. Like what I want to talk about is what I know my audience wants to hear me talk about. So turn on the cash machine. Like that is totally real. And we can all think of people who've done that, right? But if you are earlier on in your audience building as a personal brand and you really want to get paid to podcast, I would put your personal creative ambitions aside and I would focus exclusively on a strategy to make a show that is most likely to get shared by a lot of people to your target audience, because the way to get paid to podcast or YouTube is to get downloads and views. That's where the money comes from. Literally, you exchange your attention for watching an ad. And so the whole focus of your show needs to be getting those downloads and views up fast so that you can reach the thresholds to start getting sponsor deals. And that may not be like the most creative show for you. It might be much more formulaic, strategic. The topics you're choosing each week are very much focused on what's trending, to get picked up by algorithms, to get more reach in YouTube. You're specifically cutting every piece of micro content for YouTube Shorts, thinking through, like, you're testing and tweaking. You're getting pretty scientific with how you build the show if you're looking to get paid by it, like if that's your primary goal. And this show can still be a ton of fun. It can still be really cool, but your whole mindset as a show host should then be focused on, how do I build a show that will grow as quickly as possible to my target audience so that I can get paid to do it. And if that's your goal, then like run with it and go for it. And like, we can help you. Like, that's what I do at Worthful Media. I'm a producer and I help clients figure out their number one ROI, return on investment, the primary return on investment that they're interested in. And then we build shows that will bring that in. Most of our clients don't want to be paid for their show. That's not their primary ROI. Their primary ROI is usually either networking within their industry, building thought leadership, or building a marketing funnel that will bring clients in to then buy their paid offerings. So it's not the majority of people that we work with who want to do this, but I've totally worked with people who want to get paid to podcast or YouTube, and that's like what we help them create. And we make really strategic decisions that are not like, well, this is the episode I want to do. I'm like, well, that's great, but actually we should do what your audience wants. And so we're going to just make content that is going to build that viewer, subscriber, listener base as quickly as possible. And that's how you can get paid to podcast as a personal brand. And I really do want you to think about it like a business. Like, I am choosing to become a media host as my main revenue stream. You can obviously have other revenue streams. In fact, it's a smart idea to have other revenue streams. But if you realize, like, watching all these videos, kind of being on our email list, hearing me talk about this, maybe you've podcasted for a while, you've gotten a lot of feedback, and the feedback is consistently like, you're really good at this, you could do this full time, or you could make money from this, then I want you to really think through, like, do I want to get paid to podcast? Am I willing to make the show that will get spread far and wide very quickly so that I can get paid quickly? Yes, no, and then you can go ahead and build that show out if you would like to. And it can still be really fun and cool, but it will not be the show you would make if you were building thought leadership, building your digital footprint, serving your audience with free content so that they are interested in buying your paid content, just doing it as like a creative outlet. Like, that's not the show that's going to pay you. Most likely. If you want to be paid to podcast and you want to kind of follow your own creative, interesting paths, amazing. I'm all about it. It will probably take several years. So just settle in. Be like, I'm going to pay to podcast for a long time. And then if I really stick with it and, build something of high value, like, eventually it can pay me. Okay, that's the real talk for today. I hope it's helpful, because I'm all about it, whichever way you want to go. As a producer and a production house, like, we want to make the show that you are most interested in. But I think it's so helpful as a show host for you to just be real with yourself. Like, do I want to get paid to podcast ASAP, or do I want to create a show that will achieve all of these other goals I have? And then eventually, yes, monetize. If you're in the second bucket, check out the video we posted just a couple weeks ago in the Show Host Series playlist about ways to monetize your podcast, because I kind of break down the sponsorship route versus the sell your own products and services. And so that will be a really helpful video that you can check out, and we'll link it in the video description. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. We're dropping these Show Host Series videos weekly, and I want to give you all the pro tips so that you can make the show that you are best suited to make.